Well, here we are again, lads. Jump racing is almost back. Managed to get everybody around the table. Yeah, a lot closer. No boxes, as Jamie pointed out. No Zoom meetings, no lost connections and frozen videos. So, yeah, obviously jump season just around the corner, lads. Proper excited for it, aren't we?
Absolutely. Yep. Fantastic.
Absolutely. So, as you say, on Twitter the other night, brand new studio again, another recording location. That's the third in about a year.
Hopefully this time.
But yeah, purpose-built studio thanks to Sean and his father-in-law, I believe. So yeah, lovely new studio for us to work in, which is great. Jamie's come across and joined us from his neck of the woods, which is fantastic. Yeah, so obviously Cheltenham, we're doing an extra couple of days this year at the festival rather than just the one day, so that'll be fantastic.
First time.
Can't wait for that.
First time.
Yeah, first time going with us. Tickets, well, hotel pre-booked anyway, all sorted. Just the tickets to purchase. Tingle Creek Mark on the horizon, which I know you're happy about as well, going to Tingle Creek.
Very.
That'll be
first time at Tingle Creek this year, so I'm buzzing.
Yeah, so we'll have that one soon. Nicky Henderson's visit with Jamie.
Yep.
Jamie's managed to get us on the old Bidland Park Racing's visit to Nicky's yard, so can't wait to go and see the likes of Altior and Bouvedere again. Fantastic. Hopefully get to chat with Nicky and
have a little chat.
Have a look round the old trophy collection, which was just awesome. You know, pinch yourself standing next to Nicky Henderson. So yeah, really loads to look forward to this season. As you know, we're massive jumps fans, so yeah, fantastic that he's back and it's just around the corner. So we thought we'd start with first video being the ones to watch, lads. We'll all had a little look. There might be something new. There might be just some mentions for some household names. But anyway, let's get cracking then. So we'll start over with you then, Jamie. So what sort of caught your eye to start with?
Well, on number one, it's going to be my strong pick, and it'll be A Plutard, trained by Henry de Bromhead and owned by the old Cheveley Park Studs. He finished second in a really good Gold Cup last year by 1 1/4 lengths. He got beaten. And unfortunately didn't finish second, but that was a great, really good race. He will be back in the Gold Cup, I would imagine. I'm for sure. He's got loads of ability. Looking at his form, he was absolutely fantastic in Naas, Leopardstown. I'm sure he'll be heading or the target for the Seville chase. It could have been the old Lexus chase, so it'll be the old Seville chase for the old Grade 1. And I think you can see Rachel Blackmore winning a few races with him on top with the old A Plutard, and Henry de Bromhead. He's got a bit of a big operation in his stable now.
He's built and quite progressively in the last
now some
years.
of the horses and they've moved from Gordon Elliott's to him, and vice versa to Woody Mullins and that, and what's been going on. So yeah, that's the one that I'm going to be watching out for. See how he's progressed, and he might be a really strong contender for the Gold Cup.
Do you think, looking back on the Gold Cup last year, now not to say that obviously A Plutard isn't a fantastic horse, we know exactly what the horse's capabilities are, and the jockey obviously stood out.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Was it, looking back, the strongest Gold Cup though? Because there was a couple of, say for instance, Champ and people like that, who people certainly thought maybe this is just a step too far too soon. You had the older legs of Native River. That went for one more swan song.
I think I would.
Was it because it was not the strongest of Gold Cup?
I would say that Gold Cup was almost like split into division, if you know. And there was almost like a Premier League and then a Championship.
You got
you know what I mean?
You got the elite.
Yeah. It wasn't to say that one of the others couldn't put in a stellar performance to win it, but I do think there was a bit of a divide.
Because the first two obviously went away.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, obviously they went away, but did they go away from a field that, I mean, we saw Champ and a lot of others pull up quite early.
Yeah.
But then Native River would have really got round against the younger legs. So I'm just.
But then we saw that the Irish had the massive, strong hand in there over their chasing group, and they absolutely destroyed us. Really, to be honest with you, now they're trying to do something with trying to do like an Irish theme, Champions Day. Trials Day sort of thing.
Yeah, I did read about that.
I think I think Ed Chamberlain, when what I read on his columnist on the sportinglife.com, he was quite right. I think the Christmas period needs a bit of rejigged. Yeah. I think the BHA have pulled the carpet up and swept everything underneath. So I think this is going to be another. I think this is going to be another strong Irish team coming over, and they will be kicking us again, and then everybody will be going hooray over it on Twitter, on social media, and you get like Dan Skelton, Nicky Henderson and all that will be moaning as anything as why we're not getting. It's simple as like some of the English people who are owners want to have good horses going over Ireland, and Ireland are supported by the government, and the government puts loads of money in their races where the prize money is a lot more absolutely like superior over ours. So the only thing is our government don't support us, not as much as in the Irish. So I can understand where you say like it wasn't the strongest Gold Cup, but I can see that. Looking at it from last year on the results side, I think Champ he could step up again, and he's got a year on his back, so he'll be strengthening up again. It
felt like the race.
It just did.
Quickly,
it was like when you come around the second circuit, and then all of a sudden, hello, what's going on here? And then everybody's all laughing at us, and then it's like, oh right, okay,
okay, all right. Well, let's not go too much of a tangent because there's so much to talk about, as everybody knows. So we're steering away from ones we want to sort of watch for the season. So. If that's all you got to say, then Jamie.
That's mine. That's mine.
Your first first pick. Let's move on to Sean. Then who do you like?
I'm going with Paul Nicholls' Monmiral for the first one. I tend to not play it safe with these, but the whole purpose of this is your opinions. I do favour Willie Mullins. Yep. We all know that, but he tends to have better horses. I like the way they run, but in Monmiral, I find he could almost be one of those dual purpose ones. Last seen winning the Dunbar. Aintree.
Dunbar.
And beat Adagio, who we saw come second to Coriclios.
That was
at the festival. So we know those capabilities. Again, Monmiral has only had 4 starts, 4 wins though. A very quick, very capable horse over fences with a turn of speed, which is what I like. I would like to think, because he's quite a big horse as well, I'd like to think Nicholls is owned by Sir Alex Ferguson.
There we go, that's one.
There's no favouritism in that one. The paintings and everything are a little bit of a giveaway. But no, he's very much a strong but a very quick horse, a 2-miler type horse. So, I'd like to see them take a punt at the Arkle, aim for that Arkle type.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be a competitive one. It always is.
There's some good races in the 2-mile division as well.
And it is a 2-miler. I mean, look, with Monmiral, it does win well. Very versatile on ground. Again, yes, it beat Adagio, who was second at Cheltenham, to a very good horse. Monmiral missing Cheltenham, like some do, and favour Aintree, was probably in his favour. You see a lot of leggy horses come out of Cheltenham that take an attempt at Aintree and it doesn't work. Maybe that was the case with Adagio, but you can only beat what's there. They obviously assumed Adagio felt well. Monmiral just 7-8 lengths winner. I do feel that if they have a couple of stabs at the bigger fences and it doesn't go well, they have got a good option of reverting back to the hurdle. Because they know he's a proven winner.
He's done that before.
That's what they do. So, and that's the sort of horse I like to look for, because if it doesn't work necessarily in the first 2 months, they know that they've got a proven winner up back over the smaller ones and a very good Group 2 winner who can kick off. Again, Arkle would be the hope. But again, champion hurdle, 2 miles. If he's a speed horse, have a go.
If he's a big horse, I don't think Kempton will suit him, because it's quite a tight track. So, but we've all been wrong before.
Exactly. Again, my only fear would be if, again, I know it's not the be all and end all Cheltenham.
No.
People are very much, I fully appreciate that. From my point of view, from my opinion, I do look to that. the Arca would be my go-to.
Yeah.
Whether, he's going to be a lowest cost, we know that. But if he's capable and he's quick enough, then I see him very much in the mix.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, I'll chuck my first choice out then. My first choice is classical Getaway, which is relatively new on the scene. It's also Cheveley Park stud, and it equalled the highest value sale for a point-to-pointer. Can anybody tell me who that is?
No.
For starter for 10.
No?
If I knew we were being quizzed.
Yeah. No? Well, basically sold for 570,000 after a point-to-point, and the last horse to do that was Duvan's full brother, John Bon.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, if he's going to go for the same price as Duvan's full brother, you do expect the horse should be fairly decent. It was picked up by Cheveley and sent straight to Willie Mullins. He's had 2 National Hunt Black races, all around about 3 mile. One was on sort of heavy, one was yielding. So early suggestions would suggest that he maybe favours a softer ground. Yeah. As I say, still very early on in his career, so it's interesting to see where he goes. I read that he jumped very soundly in his point-to-point and in his first run under the rules, you know what I mean, on the National Hunt Flat. He won his point-to-point by 8 lengths. And again, there isn't footage because obviously there's not really footage about with things like that, so it's hard to tell. But from what I'm reading, readily, scurried clear when needed to be. Sort of 2 furlongs out, shaking the reins and away he went. So yeah, very early on, very difficult to say if it's untapped talent or not. We don't know yet, really.
Yeah.
Shown the promise, picked up for a lot of money. Sold for 24,000, then went for 64,000, and then was picked up by Cheveley for the vast sum of a couple of quid, yeah.
2 arms and a leg.
Yeah. So obviously there's a lot of thought into it. They've sent him to Willie Mullins. You know what I mean? There's belief there.
Yeah. You don't spend half a million on something that's just a punt.
He's got an early entry anti-post at the moment in the Champion Bumper, 8-1.
Right.
I think that's favourite at the moment. I think. Yeah.
Favourite already.
Yeah. It's got an entry in the Supreme.
Yeah.
Right.
And an entry in the Ballymore. They're bigger prices, but
then I read listened to the interview with Cheveley Park. They weren't going to be more interested in over the jumps. They were going to, dissolve a few.
Well, they spent a lot of money
changed their mind now.
Or maybe going forward they might. I don't know, but it's
just strange. They say one thing and they find another horse and then they do another. But
like you say, you like, as you mentioned, that Quillix a lot, Sir Gerhard. They're all in that same category where good money spent on them and sort of belief in them or early belief in them. So. It's a bit of a stab in the dark one. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to get sort of too in depth on it because he hasn't done a lot yet. No. But what it's done so far, it's done well. I say it's 2 mile 4 on heavy and then 3 mile on yielding. So it would seem at the moment favours the softer conditions. But of course, hasn't been tried yet, so we don't really know. But just be interesting to see, does it hold anywhere near the ability of like your Envoy Allens and your Sir Gerhards that we've seen so far and all that? Yeah. So they've seen something, and it's just another one to throw into that mix with your likes of, like say, Kilcrut and Sir Gerhard and that. So it'd be interesting to see, can it live up to the hype? It's changed hands for a lot of money, so we'll have to just see if that comes to fruition, as they say. So yeah, exactly. So that's my first one. Then what's your first one, then, Mark?
Well, my first one is a complete obvious Honeysuckle, Henry de Bromhead. We know how dominating his horse is. He's currently on a 13 win run at the moment.
Yeah.
And going back to my first experience in the Cheltenham Festival last year when she won the mares, I'm sure, Sean, you had the winner on that day, I believe. But nothing was more emphatic for me than her performance in Champion Hurdle. When she beat the likes of Shah Jah, there was Epperton, there was Goshen, which we were never quite certain on how that horse was going to be. There was Aspire Tower and Silver Street. I think how this horse is progressing at the age of 7.
Yes.
I think that she's got plenty more in the tank to offer.
Yeah.
And as Jamie reiterated about Rachel Blackmore, you know, for the season that she had, to then go on and win the Grand National as well, not long after that, is immense.
Everything she touched was gold.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that we've not seen the best from Honeysuckle in my honest
No, I was going to say, like, I think last season, every time she raced, there was always someone, somewhere, I don't know who it was, but there was always someone there, can she do it? Oh, yeah, she can. Next race, can she do it? Oh, yeah, she can. Next race. And that was a rinse and repeat, really, for most of last season. You know what I mean? In the media, they kept saying, can she do this next race?
Yep.
And every time, she answered it.
Yeah. There was obviously, there was the rumours of, like, I think seeing on social media that she was potentially going to be switched over the last obstacles, which the decision was made to stick her over hurdles. I personally feel that is the right decision.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, look, there's always going to be that talk. If a horse, I mean, at the moment she's on the anti-post. She's 7-4 to regain the champion hurdle, which I think at 7-4, I'd bite someone's hand off to take that bet. She will be, if she goes to the champion hurdle, which I think she will, she will be my nap at the festival next year already. I'll get that out there now. I cannot see a better horse. She's been up against both sexes in races, and she's proved her will. And I think she can now go to another level. And with Rachel Blackmore as well, like you said, everything she touched last season turned to gold. And I think that she's going to only improve.
It was just a winning combination, isn't it? You know?
Exactly. As we've always said, horses for courses, and like jockeys, certain horses as well. And I think at the moment, Honeysuckle is going to be in for a real thrilling season. I think even better. Even after the Cheltenham Festival, when she went on to win the Paddy Power Champion Hurdle in the same 1-2-3, believe it or not, against Sharjah and Epperton. So Epperton, Sharjah, fantastic horses as well. But
she's got that sort of something, and she's got that kick. But then
got the star quality.
Yeah. But then when she gets a little bit older, the old turn of foot won't.
Oh, of course.
It won't happen. But then really we should have a health warning, like a great big siren saying, do not mention the C word, as in Cheltenham. Oh no, I've just mentioned it.
Every horse has their time when, you think that time has come,
Yeah.
We've seen it with Bouvet there, we've seen it with Altior, all loving great horses that have proved their will at Cheltenham. But for me, Honeysuckle can prove it wherever she runs. And I think she'll only continue to be.
Yeah, she's still got more time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she's got enough age on her side at the moment.
Henry de Pomhead, I'd love to be in his shoes like that. He's one of the horses that he has amongst others.
Yeah.
He has a great one now.
Be rubbing his hands again.
Most definitely.
Okay, well, since Jamie started with Henry de Pomhead, that brings us back round to your second choice then, Jamie.
Funny enough.
Well, the second one, I've gone for a Paul Nicholls one, actually.
Oh, okay.
And then I was in two in and throwing of which ones to look. But I'll look at Mac Fabulous. He's got a really good record over hurdles.
Just for a second, Jamie, I thought you was going to say Frodon.
Frodon.
Which, to be fair, none of you's mentioned in the Cheltenham Gold Cup, which he finished a respectable fifth,
No, Lord of the Rings, Frodon. No, not really, not Frodon. He's got a really good, absolutely fantastic form over hurdles last year. Done really, really well. The race that I watched last night on a replay was over the Rekindle Grade 3. Done really well, and Harry Cobden rode him very well, very positive. Took him on the outside. Even Mick Fitzgerald doesn't like that sort of thing, but I think he's found the way Harry wants to ride some of his horses if they want to be on the outside and seeing the whole hurdle instead of in the mix and not seeing the hurdle. So give him a bit of a confidence boost. He's won four hurdle races last year. Now he's coming up to a 7. I think now he's time for going over fences, hopefully, and hopefully be like I would imagine novice company this year. So hopefully he'll do well. I think he won on his Rekindle like 2+ lengths against On the Blind Side. On the Blind Side is not, well, he is up there, but he's not one of the elites, but
One of those had a potential.
he'd never see it. Yeah, like he's like
quite,
if he could have done
The
that,
what
or
if.
if. But with Mac Fabulous, I think you could see him like in some of these big handicaps, and I would say or the novice novice hurdle races, and I think 2 miles 5, or even 2 mile 7
By and large,
plus.
he didn't do anything wrong, really.
No, not really. I mean, he had one blip, and then they were talking about, is his form's gonna flop? And then when they took him over Kempton and running the Rekindle hurdle race, and he done it very well.
He pretty much bounced back, every
Yeah, just bounced back. So he must have hit a flat, like some of the stable forms normally hit a flat spot. And they just pick up again. So,
absolutely.
So for me, Mac Fabulous for Paul Nicholls, for the old Grifter Racing, for the owners. Hopefully they'll do well again this year.
Yeah, I think he will.
Yeah.
I think he's got some ability.
He looks like he's got some good ability.
Something good about him. Yeah.
So
there was a few selections for you last season.
Yeah, I did. I picked him a couple.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, and he done all right for you.
Absolutely.
Always.
Okay. Any more to say, Jamie? Or?
No. I'll hold.
Okay.
For
all right.
Piece.
Come on then, Sean. What's your second choice then?
Well, it wouldn't be a one to watch if I didn't have a Willie Mullins.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going again. This time I'm going to go Galloping des Champs. Not one of the first string, I suppose, if you can call it down that way. A horse kind of in and out of form last year when they struggled to find distance. I think it was a lot of the issue over in Ireland. The constant running at the Leopardstown and places like that over 2 miles always seemed to bump into Appreciated or Grand Rock and people like that, and it just was never there. The jumping was never an issue. It was always that you never really had a turn of foot, or never was quick enough when there was that kick for home. He would then peter off. That always seemed to be the problem. When you've got the likes of Appreciated going, if you can't keep up, you're never going to... 2 miles clearly not for you, and you need to avoid that horse like the plague, being honest. But did up it 2.5, 3 mile winner at Cheltenham, but 2.5 over in Ireland, where it was more impressive. I mean, jumping obviously is a bit of a sketchy one for this horse. Which tends to where he probably lost a lot of his 2 mile races, because if you haven't got that turn of foot and you have made mistakes, the race is over. If you watch Appreciate run at 2 mile, almost faultless, then you can kick on. If you're clattering a couple of fences, doesn't matter how quick you are,
you're not going to get away.
It's just like with the Olympics, with the 110 metre hurdles, or like the 400. If you hit clatter one, that's it. You're out of the race.
That's it. I'm going to hope that another year, like Jamie was alluding to with some horses, another year on their back will improve that over the summer period. They worked on that, and again, it's more of a stab in the dark because it was an inconsistent type until they step up to 2 mile, 2.5 mile, 3 mile. Obviously, a bit of a stay on in its ability. Again, my fear is the jumping is sketchy, but when it clicks, it's a horse that's very quick over. Maybe reverting to the larger obstacles. Will bring something out.
It could improve him even more if he goes over the big.
Maybe it's just that misunderstanding of a hurdle that the horse is comprehending, or hits a flat spot. Whereas if you slow a race down like you do in the chases, naturally, the composure will maintain. So again, it's more of a stab in the dark. What route they'll take is unknown.
It's hard to tell exactly.
Anywhere online or wherever you're looking, when you know people where they're claiming this horse is directing at. But I feel if they get it right, there is a winner in this somewhere on a big race, not necessarily Aintree or Cheltenham, but over in Ireland.
There's plenty of good races in Ireland with like a grade 3 or grade Bs or grade Cs.
That's where I'll be keeping my eye over in Ireland on this one. For Galloping des Champs.
Oh, bless you.
Bless me, my child.
But yeah, so Galloping des Champs is my
Okay. All right. Well, my second choice is another Nicholls. It's actually an old hand known to us, but not been seen much, and that's Next Destination. Now you mentioned stereotypes. Most people are probably aware. Had like 920 days off track. Until last year. Came back with a first race back with a very good second to a very match fit Roxana, which is no slouch, as we know.
No, definitely not.
that was at Wetherby.
Yep.
Finished ahead of the 2020 stayers at Lisnagar Oscar by about 6.5 lengths. Beat the likes of Copperhead, which was one that you'd hope for good things for, but not really delivered, as you say. We sort of saying about that.
You didn't have to mention it, but it was fun. Just to do
I'm just trying to point out. You know, at the end of the day, you know, that was another horse that we all sort of thought the Tizars would turn into be a good one, but hasn't quite.
Not yet. Anyway.
That's another interesting point, but we'll go on to that later about the Tizards and that. And I mean, obviously, knows there's been a lot of some changes in that. So hopefully, anyway, but that's another tangent. Yeah, beat the likes of Holstone, Kill the Sart, and that. So you know, seasoned sort of professionals and that. Then picked up two wins, a novice chase at Newbury, 2 mile 7, and then a 3 mile on soft at Warwick. So, and then went to the festival, and again another really good performance in the Hunt Challenge Cup. You know, finishing second to Galvin. Wasn't as close to Galvin as he was to Roxanne.
Impressive.
Yeah, but I think 3 races, bang festival, to then come second. I think you've got to respect that. Do you know what I mean? So, as you say, not a new kid on the block, not an unknown, you know, almost sort of moving along the lines of mentioning Honeysuckle, you know, I mean, one we know about. Yeah. I just think, you know, just keep an eye on it this year. I think because, you know,
there'll be plenty of Nichols who have to keep an eye on.
I just think, you know, like I say, you know, to come back on such a long layoff, 3 races, to win 2 and then go to the festival and then get second, I just think you've got to respect that.
Yeah.
And I can't see any reason why it can't come and have a, you know, say maybe in the, you know, Stayers division this year. Do you know what I mean? You know, we don't know. Like I say, it's very early, so we don't know where they'll go with things. But yeah, I just think it's one to just respect and just think, well, you know, to have done that in a very short space of time and then go straight to the festival after 3 races, you know, with little chance to campaign the horse per se. You know, I think you've got to respect that, and I just think it could be one worth keeping an eye out for. I think it'll pick up some races along the way.
Yes, definitely.
It might not have,
exactly.
It might not, as you say, have years and years and years in the tank, but I certainly think it could be one that could win a few races this year.
Definitely.
So that's my second choice. Your second choice, Emma?
I think Sean's going to love me. I'm going for a Willie Mullins horse, Sean. Energumene.
Just
before I start, does anyone know what the English translation of Energumene actually means?
No idea.
Obviously not.
It doesn't mean it's got not got anything to do about love, because obviously we know what your love is for.
Yes.
It actually stands for maniac/weirdo.
Okay.
Interesting fact.
Maybe says something about the temperament in the yard,
Well,
maybe.
This is, you know, brother to the legendary Underso, who we all know very well. You know, has had some great races over the years. And a very good, well, I should say, and a fantastic novice chase campaign. You know, getting 2 grade wins in that time. You know, nothing more than a devastating 16-length victory over fellow Grade 1 chase winner Janadil. I think that's how it's pronounced. But it wasn't just that; it was the timing of that win. It was monstrous, you know. And we all talk about the English horses and the Irish horses. And we know year after year after year, the Irish are going to come over to the festival. They come over, it just seems stronger and stronger. And, you know, this horse here, we all knew what we wanted to see most recently. You know, we wanted to see the best in England and the best in Ireland, in my opinion, in Energumene going up against Shishkin. Could we see that next year? I would like to think so. We know what Shishkin's route will be. You know, it's won Supreme, it's won the Arkle. Now it's more than likely going to head to the Champion Chase, which at the moment heads the field being the favourite in that. Energumene on the anti-post is 5-1. So I don't know what you think about a price for a horse like this, but I'll tell you what I think. What I think is, not only because of its connections with Underso, and not only with the connections with Willie Mullins, we know that he
always does it really.
Winner, He knows how to get the winners, especially at Cheltenham. I don't know if Willie Mullins just sits there and be like, oh, it's Cheltenham one. He rubs his hands together and be like, I'm going to go in there and get a few wins. But, you know, its last outing was the Ryanair novice chase at Punchestown, a red hot favourite. It was dominating after missing Cheltenham. And, you know, and do I think that Shishkin and Energumene is going to be on the cards next year?
Yes, it will be.
I think it will be. Do I think Energumene can give Shishkin a challenge next year?
No.
I believe this horse can.
No.
Do I think Willie Mullins will get the upper hand? I think he will.
What, the second coming of Shishkin? Of the second coming of the Sprinter Saka?
My only downfall about Energumene at the moment, I sort of feel that, similar road with Alaho, it's going to be upped in trip to around 2.5 miles. And I feel that this will be the key for this horse to then potentially get the battle that we actually want to see. It's been entered into the Ryanair chase as well, and it's a 12-1 shot. This is obviously anti-post for the festival next year. So again, some horses are going to be in like 3 or 4 different.
Yeah, they always are. Right?
But they always start to do the old Mullins bingo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I think if timing's right, and I think if it's entered into the races, as we say, similar to what Glenn said with Next Destination, had a couple of wins and then goes and finishes second at Cheltenham. You can't fault that.
Yeah, you got to respect it. Yeah.
To only have them 2 wins and then go and put it in a performance like that, I feel that if Energumene's ready, it will take on Shishkin next year in the festival.
Considering it's going to be a big, like really, really good, 2.5 miles division. That's going to be a really good division again. Where you got Energumene, Shishkin. And then you start rolling it all off again, and I think Shishkin could do something.
And I think like what Sean reiterated about the Gold Cup. Yes, I don't think it was as strong as a lineup as what we have seen over the years. Sean is a massive fan of Native River. He will know what Native River's been and done. At Cheltenham. Yeah. I just feel that like we said. The 2 miles, the 2.5 mile division at the moment is really feisting up, and it's really got some real tough contenders in there from all sorts of different, different trainers, etc. But as a whole, the whole National Hunt season is going to be a stonker.
Yeah. There's going to be a few surprises with the small trainers with one of their flag bearers like that. Lieutenant Rocco? Yeah. And that came out of the blue and all that. So I reckon there's going to be a few surprises through the season. That'd be interesting.
Energumene is my number 2 for one to watch for this upcoming season.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, mate. Fair enough. All right. Well, that's our sort of main ones we're going to watch. We've, like I say, bring a couple each. We could sit here hours and hours, but obviously there's bound to be a few more that we may want to mention. Yeah. We'll just go a bit more random. Any others that you?
I mean, look, these aren't ones that are going to you can retire on. Right, I'm not going down that road. Yeah. But the point of this is I'm going. My first one will be Monkfish now. I went with that last year. Couldn't care less if I'm going to go for it again this year.
No.
That's the route I'm going down. Because if it ain't broke, why fix it? Yeah. It's that sort of horse that he proved how good he was. We know that. Done what he had to do. Won't go on about last year's Cheltenham or last year's season because he proved it. It will be about the upcoming one. Obviously, we know he'll go Gold Cup route. Hopefully, because that is just the natural progression.
Yeah, the next step. For him,
next step. It will be a strong Gold Cup. We know it will be with Millionaire Endo, Bastard. You're hoping for Monkfish. We're hoping if they go champ again. For the English again, we'll revert it back to.
Or they might stay in Ireland itself. There's some other.
There's other ways, but for me, Monkfish, regardless of where it goes, if it will be Gold Cup, then I'm gonna have to.
Well, that's what that is, isn't it? That is the one reason why. Certainly me and Sean, anyway, and I know you boys do as well, but that's why we just love the jump racing because they're back again, you know what I mean?
You see them all back.
Yeah, it's so, it's just fantastic talking about the same.
It's the same with the sprints. Yeah. The sprints always come back. They're all like like the 8-year-olds, like, your astronaut, like from 8-year-olds and all that, and you see them coming back, all the sprinters, and you got like Copper Knight, who was like. He was the most winner at York. I think he won about 8 races at the course. He's the most. And then you got all this. I like the sprinters because it's a big handicaps and all that. And then with the national one, it's great to see your old fellows come in week out, each year, in and out. Yeah, it's good.
Like I say, my second one on that, because I'll go for another one, will be. I'm going to revert back to one that I did a couple of years ago again, which is the beauty of that side of things, and that's Tyne Hill. Again, unfortunately, pulled out of the stayers, which was dominated by Flora Porter, who I thought was brilliant. Again, another Irish raider who come over, almost not under the radar, but a little bit. I mean, it was supposed to be this clash of Tyne Hill and Paisley Park. And
I was going to say,
it was ridiculous.
That's what the Ding Dong was built up as, sort of thing, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
We knew something because we saw it. We saw Flora Porter winning in a stayers race and a handicap or grade 3, and it ran and it went absolutely smashed them to pieces. And then that was the prep for the Cheltenham stayers.
And that's it. And that's like I say. There's a couple of stayers that I Galloping. The Sean could go that road as well, as I was talking about. For me, Tyne Hill, I think Paisley Park, I think we can all agree has taken a backward step for whatever reason. It just that's what happens, like you said, the older legs. It's natural progression. Tyne Hill's still only 7, 8 when we move on. I think having another go at the stayers, missing it last year was probably a blessing, maybe, if there was niggles or whatever the reason was. Flora and Porter, I think, like you alluded to, will only come back stronger from that. Now I can run at Cheltenham as well. Could be a force to reckon with in the stayers, but Tyne Hill for me will give it a go.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well I'll chuck a couple out quickly then as well. I'll take two others that I think are just worth keeping an eye out on. I've gone for Echoes in Rain, which is Mullins. Moved there 2019, so it's been there a little while. Won its last 3, or she's won her last 3. Could be, something handy for the, on the mare side of things, Who's to say whether she's another Honeysuckle or whatever, do you know what I mean? Or some of the great mares we've seen over the years. But just another one that's worth keeping an eye on, you know what I mean? That's again, won the last 3, you've got to respect that, And then my other choice, again, just to keep an eye out for, is another Nichols trained horse, is Nappers Hill. Is it, 3 runs, sort of 2021. National 1 races. One of them was won by Cobden, 2 was won by Megan Nichols. Just be interesting to see where they go with it. You know what I mean? That's it. The blue and white seals. Just interesting to see. They've all been in the 2 mile, so whether they'll sort of target the 2 mile type division. One on good soft. So just be interesting to see where they head with that one. So. Can't say too much, as we say with some of them. You pick out because there's not always a lot to go on. But
some of them are already injured.
Coming in, Jamie. Any others you want to sort of give a shout out for?
Yeah, I'm going to do a song for someone. He done really well last year.
You champions calls a bit last year, didn't you?
It was absolutely. I thought.
Who's the song for?
A bit of Kingston Town for you. There you go. When I'm drunk. He's he had a fantastic season. Like I always say, look for the soft ground conditions. He's always banging there. He done really well in Ascot, and even though that was a 3-runner race, his last race was at Aintree, got pulled up. Unfortunately, I think the ground done him, and I think the long season. I'm hoping he might go for the champion hurdle because there was. In 2 miles ago, the champion hurdle will go for the Betway Aintree hurdle. So they went from that one, and I think it not sort of backfired, but I think he had a bit of a long season. I think.
He was campaigning quite a bit.
Sort of and I think that Tom Simmons will start making a plan for him. And I'm hoping if it goes on the soft conditions at Newcastle, and he might go for the whole fight in 5th. Then right from there, then might progress in the Champions.
I think you might see more of a targeted pattern this year. Rather than a
Tom
let's
always
see how
because they always
level is, if you know what I mean.
They always talk to the owners, and they always go, right, we're going to go for this stage, and we're going to go for that one. So that's my main one as well. But the others, I just looked through. There were so many. Like Chris's Dream. I've heard that he might be going to the Hennessy. T Clipper. He done really well for Tom Lacey. Like my own, I think he'd be a dark horse for this year. Again, he got injured. Oleg, he had a bit of a bad injury. Had a leg injury. He's coming back. He could either go over hurdles or over fences, but I think He'd be going over hurdles. I know Harry Davenham likes him a lot. He can do anything. In the over across the seas with Ireland, you've got Indiana Jones, pencil full of lead. You've got and there's a couple. One's just moved from Chris Hickley. Riders of the Storm moved from
I
down
like
to
that
Christian Williams now. So Christian's got hold of him.
All right.
So from there, and then Dan Skelton's mentioned him. Is it Pro Kiatrat?
Protectorat.
Yeah, Pectorat. Yeah, sorry.
Protectorat or something
Yeah,
like that,
he's mentioned him as a one to follow from there. So and then you got Tornado Flyer. So that's the and then
as you say, there's loads you could go.
You could do with some of the syndicate orders. You got like 5 and 20. It's gone from the flat, transferred over hurdles. She'll be running in Cheltenham, I've been told, and then with the other one with Go Chic, she'll go over like distance with 3 miles, where she's a full sister to Christmas in April. So we're just wondering what she'll do this year. So yeah, there's plenty that I've mentioned. So
okay, mate. Anything else you want to sort of chuck in the mix?
I've just stealed one of your horses, didn't I?
No, there's just the one, my Drogo. For Team Skelton.
Oh right.
Yeah, this horse caught my eye when it ran at Cheltenham last year, finishing second to I Maximus at odds of 50 to 1 in a 2 mile National Hunt flat race.
Right.
Actually diverted from the festival most recently, and also as well, it was a dominating performance when it won the Supreme Trial Novices Hurdle Ascot at 9 to 1. The option was to go to the Supreme Novices at the festival. Obviously, they diverted from that with a 9-length victory at Kelso, and then a very, very good performance at Aintree, overcoming a very talented field. It's best possible outcome at the moment. Could see it going up against Appreciated in the Arkle.
Right.
We know how Appreciated was.
He was impressive.
323 lengths.
Impressive.
My Drogo, future Gold Cup contender. I feel,
Watch his space.
Yeah. It's just as I said, not too much about this one at the moment. It's a very light raced horse at the moment.
I've heard a lot about that.
As
I was looking online, there is a lot of talk about my Drogo.
I don't know what the reasons were. Sometimes we say that horses miss the festival, and then go on and do other things, and then come back next year. I think the same about Energumene as well, missed the festival, and I think I say next year it's going to be a jam-packed festival. Where some of the horses are going to go, and what races they're going to run.
We'll never know.
Much question marks at the moment. But, I think
it's going to be a bumper season, I reckon, without doubt.
And we said about the Irish, English horse, my Drogo. So it's one of the contenders to bring surprises here and there along the way in the new season.
Right, very decent. All right, well. I don't know if there's any other business really. That's obviously what the purpose of the video today was. There'll be many more videos and there's many more discussions to have as we build towards the season. So, we don't have to say everything today, lads. So that's it. That's sort of ones to watch video. A couple that we're keen on, and then obviously some other mentions just to bear in mind. You know what I mean? And say there's plenty of fantastic racing to come up. Really looking forward to it again, and looking forward to the festival eventually when we get there. Hopefully we'll be back racing now, as obviously we can all go again. So stable visits to look forward to. A few other irons in the fire for us as well, other things we want to do and stuff like that. So we'll really look forward to that. And we'll see you again for another video leading forward.
Yeah, and again, we always want to know what everyone else.
Oh yeah, of course,
everyone else has got an opinion. We know that is the beauty of this sport.
And there
absolutely.
Are some,
we've rattled off probably about 15 to 20.
Yeah.
We know for a fact that there will be people out there that
maybe missed out
a little bit more in depth,
or
hear a little bit more murmurs.
Yeah.
This is the whole purpose.
Absolutely, that's why we do it.
Exactly.
So for the banter and
make a comment on the old YouTube on there,
and
also and Twitter, because we'll always follow on Twitter.
Find us, follow us on Twitter, and find us on Twitter and follow us, and like I say, comment below and get involved. As you say, anything you think we missed or was too overzealous on or too harsh on, just have your say. Basically, get involved and have a say yourself. And and we'll see you again for another video.
Roll on the National Hunt.
Absolutely. See you later.
See you later.